Hey everyone, welcome to the Self-Awareness Journey podcast. I'm Melissa Albers.
And I'm JJ Parker. This podcast is for seekers of happiness, joy, and a centered approach to success in life. Seekers of their true, authentic selves.
Get ready for some real talk on everything from anxiety, emotions, and habits to love, compassion, and forgiveness. We know you'll be challenged and enlightened by this conversation, and we're so glad you're here. Let's dive in.
All right, Melissa, I have like a little confession to make to you.
Oh, yay. What did you buy?
I didn't buy anything.
Oh.
But, I do love playing around with AI.
Oh, I know.
And I did make a thing.
Oh.
That I didn't tell you that I made, that I use almost every single episode.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, I just would like you to know I had a little sinking feeling in my stomach.
No. So with ChatGPT, like like a very popular AI thing.
I love ChatGPT.
So you can make what are called custom GPTs.
Okay.
So you can actually kind of preload ChatGPT with like a bunch of information about what you want it to spit out to you when you ask it questions.
Oh.
So I made a self-awareness journey podcast producer GPT.
Oh.
So before episodes, I will say things like, we're going to have an episode about AI.
Okay.
Create a script with interesting questions.
No way.
And
you are not doing that. Oh, you little shit. Okay, everybody, he's showing me several pages of writing, like printed.
Ooh. We just maybe came up with some more episodes about how you should not be. Is this lying? I don't know. Is this a little deceitful?
Heck,
Is this just a little? What is this?
Oh, wow.
But you have to admit that you've probably used ChatGPT to do a little research for the pod yourself, right?
No, never.
Come
not
on,
once. Not once. No, I'm 58. Do you know how I use it? I do the Google
sourdough recipes.
I do the Google. Because if you Google, that's what they're laughing at. If they're saying everybody in the 50s uses Google as the AI tool of the century.
Well,
all right, I'm going to need to hear.
In full disclosure, it's not super useful. I'm a little disappointed at its results. So
I'm not. I think it's been going fine.
If I've been particularly brilliant lately, it's
oh my gosh.
It's not me, it's the AI.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. What are we going to do with this baby?
Okay. So, we did a podcast episode over a year ago or something about artificial intelligence, and it was really, really new. And it was
it was so interesting. Actually,
you could kind of ask it questions, you could talk to it. It was the first time where you're like, wait a second, I'm kind of having a conversation with a computer that feels very human.
Yeah. I remember what we used as an example. It just came to me. I honestly don't remember when that podcast was, but I do remember that you said it works for everything, and I was like, absolutely no way, no, it's not going to.
I think we live did some things. We asked it some things. Yeah,
we asked it a question about if we had to put someone we loved in a nursing home.
Oh yeah,
remember?
Yep.
And it came up with all of the feeling steps.
Really good things.
I was so floored, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, JJ's right. And then it was quiet, and then everything with AI, it was quiet for a little while longer, and then it blew up. So yes, I would love to hear what you think about what you think about it today, versus what you thought about it then, because you were all over it then.
Well, I still think it's a really, really cool magic trick.
Me too. I love it.
Everything that it does is it makes you feel awesome, right? It does. It in this example where I kind of use it to do research for work or for the podcast or anything like that.
Yeah.
So first, let's talk about how it makes you feel, because I love how it makes me feel.
Well, that's super interesting because, yeah.
So, like, we'll use the podcast as the example, because some of our topics are pretty deep, are pretty nuanced, right?
Yes.
You and I, in this course of talking, we discover like a lot of little nuggets around the subtleties of being human.
Right.
I would say that AI doesn't generate those nuggets very well. Like you and I together are able to like pull out a lot of these very subtle things.
Yeah.
But it does do a really good job of like creating a kind of general overview of like, hey, these are some ideas to go explore. And frankly, a bunch that I don't actually think about. Like it's a really good thinking partner.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
It gets a lot of broad strokes correct.
Right. Okay, well, don't leave your question first, and let's come back to the broad strokes. You said, what are the feelings that are evoked from this?
So it makes me feel really productive.
Okay.
It makes me feel smarter. Like it'll come up with things, and I'll think like, oh yeah, that's like I know a bunch about that, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of helps me. It makes me feel like super productive.
Right. I actually feel also very productive. I've used it in very different ways than you have. Like I've used it during strategic planning with clients to create mission statements.
Oh, perfect. That's a perfect use. I didn't know you did that. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was last year I started to do that, because that's one of the things, like when you get a whole team of people that are all trying to create a mission statement or a value proposition or the core values of the company. Oh man, you have so many invested opinions and emotions about it. But when you can say what are the key words, that's usually where you'll spend an hour trying to come up with time. Yeah. So rather than taking an hour with 20 people, I can just say, oh, tell me some of the key words that you want included. And it will completely rewrite in 3 minutes.
It's crazy. So
not
what
3
is
minutes,
that right
30
there?
seconds.
If I write something, like a lot of the AI tools will do like writing enhancements. Right. Yes. Where like, hey, I wrote this thing, make it sound smarter, make it sound funnier, make it sound more casual.
Make it sound like you're from the East Coast, make it sound like you're from the West Coast. Yes.
And that right there, because everyone, in a lot of our work, well, what do we want to do? We want to sound smarter. We want to sound like we have more authority. We want to sound a certain way, come across a certain way, and AI really helps us do that. So that feels really good.
Yeah,
right?
that part feels good.
Like, did I write that? Technically, kinda. I started it.
No,
but at the end, AI kind of enhanced it. So, it's a little bit of vanity almost, right? It allows us to look maybe a little better than we normally look, which that's like almost like a normal human condition, right? Like, why do we dress up in fancy clothes? Why do we do our hair in a certain way? Why do we do all of these things?
Why do we do the things?
Yep. So this is like vanity for your brain.
I've clearly not thought about this to the depth that other people on this pod have thought about this.
We're just getting started.
But so one of the feelings I have is I was kind of elated in the group about that. I was excited because we actually did a thing that normally they would have lots of disagreements and we would take a long time to get to in about 5 minutes to full complete agreement. 5 minutes versus an hour. So that one I did feel very productive.
I bet you everybody was like, this is awesome. This is perfect. This is amazing. All the emotions around the result is awesome. Yeah. I think one of the reasons we get so excited about the result of AI is because thinking takes so much energy. The brain uses more energy than any organ in our body. When we have to think a lot, it's really expensive and energetically expensive.
Yeah.
There are, and AI is expensive. Like dollar-wise, actually the compute power to run any one of these queries is actually significant. People don't really realize it, but it costs a lot of money to compute all that. So we're just like moving the energy consumption from our brain to the power grid. But
it's an interesting way to say that.
It feels so good to not have to expend so much energy to get an amazing result.
Yes.
Right? Doesn't everyone want to do that?
Agreement.
I want an amazing result with doing less. Awesome. This is awesome.
Yes. Yes, true.
It's why cars and bicycles and tools and everything and every machine ever invented in humanity is just us trying to leverage work, right?
Yes. Faster, stronger, for less.
Yeah. And this is
less
one
to do more.
That is the tool to allow our brains to do less work. So it feels really good.
Right. It also has feelings that are not great, if I'm honest.
Okay. What are those?
Okay.
I don't know if I've experienced those.
Totally
I'm so excited.
Perplexed.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
People, I think there's a little bit of, I'm kind of getting over it, but I would say a little bit of fear around it because it's so powerful, we have no idea. Like we're feeding information to this thing, and it feels like a big hairy monster in a dark closet, like Mike Kozowski.
Well, when you
and we're feeding all this information to it, so it's getting smarter and smarter and smarter. We've been all watched, like series on sci-fi from the 60s and 70s,
all based on the same thing. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I'm a product of the 70s.
Yeah.
I watched Land of the Lost.
You know
I watched
exactly
Maxwell Smart.
Right?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Like, there are some interesting things where like you go ask like a real computer scientist how it works, and they don't really know.
Right.
That's scary.
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean you built a machine and you don't know how it works?
Right.
And you don't know where the data really goes, and it's somehow in there and it references things.
Right.
That's a little scary, right? And then I do love that we have this whole sci-fi thing around how AI is going to take over the world, and then we'll be working for the robots, and maybe that will be true. It's certainly fun to think about.
What was that show with David Hasselhoff and the car that talked?
Oh, Knight Rider.
Knight Rider.
We're probably beyond Knight Rider technology at this point.
I think we are. Actually, I think we have probably been over the technology. I think the technology has been advanced for way, way, way longer than we have any realization whatsoever.
And actually, the movie that really crystallized what's happening today, or what might happen, is the Matrix.
Oh, right.
I know,
exactly.
did you watch it? I think we talked about it, and you were like, that's a really violent movie, and I don't really like it. It is violent, but
and it's really good.
But its core thing is that the machines needed energy. They used humans to do it, but humans couldn't survive without their brain, so they made a whole entire fake world so humans could, they biologically operate.
That is so creepy when you say it like that.
It is crazy.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So if you're on a pod right now trying to convince others to love AI, this is not it. You're going to have to pivot some.
Nope, I'll bring it back. Don't worry.
Okay. But anyway, so I would say that's the negative fear. And also I would share one other feeling, as we're talking about feelings, is that this has opened the door to all sorts of showing of characters of people. That's the thing I think that's been a little disappointing. My husband's a college biology professor. The amount of cheating is next level crazy town.
Well,
so that's been difficult.
I agree. That is a huge problem. There's a huge problem in a couple ways. We can get into the problems in a second.
Okay.
But why?
So that's another.
But why does that happen? Right? To me, it fundamentally happens because it actually feels good to not do the work.
Yeah, I agree.
So
100%.
It's funny that like the negative result is actually also a positive feeling for an individual.
That is, and actually you could probably parallel that with social media and all other places in the world right now.
Yep. So
that's really interesting.
So anyway, love AI. I love my team uses it. Our marketing team, at work specifically, our marketing team uses it to write copy, do website work. Our engineers use it as a coding assistant find bugs, scaffold up easy parts of code. Like,
sure.
It's so insanely productive. It is so productive for our engineering teams that like we have stopped hiring junior engineers because our senior engineers paired with an AI assistant are so productive.
Wow.
That we don't need junior engineers. So like financially for our business, super good for now.
Right.
So we'll get into that in a second. But think about how you are if you're a software engineer and all of a sudden you've just got like this little assistant and it's just pumping code into your project and you feel 10 times more productive than you did last week. That's an amazing feeling, right?
Yeah.
We can find bugs faster than we ever were before. Quality goes up, right? Quality goes up, speed goes up, new features releases go up. Like, and on the marketing team, design-wise, right? Like, we can bootstrap up our websites faster. Copy's great. There's no errors. Like, it all comes across very professional. It articulates what we want, right?
Right. Yeah.
And there's all sorts of these applications too where we use it for analysis, like of the financials, like.
Yeah. Right.
And so
I've used it to create full-day seminars.
Yeah. So
to my schedule, I have these 4 topics, and I have to have these 3 breaks, and blah blah blah. Can you please create my schedule?
So it's amazing. It is amazing, and
it's amazing.
And what you said earlier, one of the key pieces of it is it's so fast.
Yes,
it's seconds. It's like you put a prompt in, and it's seconds.
Yep.
So
it's amazing.
What is the shadow side of this whole thing? Is what you're kind of getting to. What's the negative part of this whole thing?
Yeah. Right.
And if there's so many positives, like, is there a negative? And to me, there are some pretty significant negatives that we should be mindful of. And I'm not talking about like Matrix, Robot Overlord stuff, but one of the things that I've seen really quickly that is troubling is that AI has caused a very quick erosion of trust.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't know what's real anymore. You don't know if an email that you got was AI generated or human generated. It seems like it is a human. It probably even has like a proper name and everything, right? But it could be completely AI generated. And any company could be sending millions of those a day. You have no idea. And it can do crazy things like the AI generated marketing message can go to your LinkedIn profile, figure out things about you, figure out where you went to school, research the school. I have gotten emails, I'm not kidding you, that say like, hey, remember the art fair day at the Minneapolis College of Art and Design? Did you ever participate in that? Because that seems like a really cool event. By the way, I'm selling revenue recognition software. I'm like, what the frick? Like, those two things are not connected in any way.
Right.
Clearly, the AI was just scraping my public profile.
Right.
And creating these hyper-specific messages for me. So, trust, gone, right?
Yeah, gone. Yep.
And AI voice. Like, you can get phone calls, sounds like a real human. You can talk to it like a real human. It's not. It's a robot. Right. But you can't tell. So, in a world where I can't tell if I'm talking to a human, if I'm emailing with a human, what do I trust? Right. Am I trusting the computer systems? Am I trusting the people behind the computer systems? Like, what am I trusting? Like, what am I holding on to here? I have no idea.
Right. I feel scared. And just to further the comment I made around Mitch's students, I mean, he's a biology professor and all of his students are nursing students. So the nursing students are taking online courses and are not turning in any assignments and not doing the work and all of these things. And then acing the tests. And he's done so many things to try to prevent that from happening. Like trying to make the questions change all the time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Trying to make them an image instead of a text. It doesn't matter. Like, these are all the things he's tried over the years. And what scares me about it, obviously not every student is doing that, but there's a huge faction of them that are, actually. But Think about that. These are the nurses. These are the nurses that are going to care for us.
These are the people that are going to keep you alive in that critical situation.
But they don't know anything because they've cheated their way through. But I know there's ways that they will not be. They won't, because they'll have to go into practicals and they'll be and it won't work. So it gets them to. So like you were just mentioning about your workforce, it gets them to a certain point, and then it will not get them beyond that point.
Yeah. So let's talk about that specifically. Is for some of us who have been in, practicing our vocation for a very long time, using pen and paper in our brains and all of these ancient tools invented by cavemen. But I often think about our brain just like our muscles, right? Like if you don't work out, then your body is going to say, hey, I don't need to lift 100 pounds above my head on a daily basis. So I don't need all of this muscle mass, because it takes a lot of energy to keep this muscle mass. I don't need it. So we'll just shed it. If you are exercising and lifting heavy all the time, your body says, oh, I guess to survive, we need to lift 100 pounds above our head. I better create some muscle so we can do that. So your body ebbs and flows with its workload needs. I don't think your brain is any different. So if you have lowered the workload need of your brain, it will also atrophy. It doesn't need all that, right?
Right.
So if you're not kind of exercising your mental muscle, just like you are your physical muscles, it's going to atrophy or it's going to grow. So one of the things with AI that I think is particularly scary, especially in the student world, is if we don't teach them how to think, or if they don't have to go through the exercise of critical thinking, like understanding how things work, connecting these things together.
Yeah, totally.
That's just going to atrophy, and they won't be able to do it. Or if they have to do it, it's going to take quite a while for them to build up that muscle again. It's not like you go to the gym and all of a sudden oh, look at it, now I'm totally ripped one time.
Right.
It takes years or decades to hone these kinds of skills. Right.
Well, and I think too, not just the skills, but like the how to learn the skill, like just learning, staying in a process of complete learning and being able to identify enough of what you're looking at to learn something.
Yeah.
You can't not learn and just step out of. Like in AI is a perfect example of that, because I think a lot of people would like to just avoid it. I do. I think a lot of people would like to just avoid it. But I think like in situations like that, by avoiding something so that you aren't even generally familiar with it, if you do try to step back in, it's way, way harder.
Yeah.
I think it's way harder.
So I think there are some shadow sides, for sure. Then in my workforce specifically, we've got, like I was saying, we're not hiring junior engineers because our senior engineers are so productive. Well, when they decide to retire, in general, our industry is not going to have very good junior engineers to step into those senior roles. Like we won't have any senior people because they'll all retire. All the junior engineers will have, we won't have any because they won't have gotten the experience that they need. So, obviously as an industry, and different industries who are really maybe heavy into AI can probably deal with that from like a hiring practices perspective. But right now it's pretty bad. So maybe it will self-correct over the next 5-10 years as people start realizing like our talent pipeline is completely dried up.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah. It's so interesting because you couple that with how employment is right now. Like you couple it with all of these issues that we're in. It's such an influx of new way. It's just all new. Everything's just coming in huge waves.
And human nature, I think, is we like the easy button. We like the silver bullets. We're always looking for like these new innovative ways to get things done with less resource. It's great. That's like what we do as humans. So it's kind of like I don't really fault people for being people around this tech.
Exactly. Right.
But I do think we have to stay mindful about like short-term and long-term trade-offs. And like how do we actually partner with this new technology in a way that like creates a sustainable situation?
Do you think we will?
I think we will. I think we for sure will. How many? We've all been through. I mean, you and I have been through a whole bunch of tech cycles. Like,
I know.
Actually, in a lot of ways, and we'll have to like kind of go a little bit way back, but like, is this any different than like what our parents were talking about when television came out? Like, oh my God, you're going to be
it's going to ruin the world.
Yeah, TV is going to ruin all of these children, and they'll be like completely wrecked because all they'll do is sit in front of the boob tube and watch it 24 hours a day and not think for themselves, not understand what outside looks like. Like none of that happened, right? So it's fun to manufacture all of these like doomsday scenarios, but
you find it fun. Other people find it terrifying. And one little prompt I would also tell people is if you're writing an email to somebody and you use ChatGPT, make sure you take the prompt off the email. Yes. I have received emails that are like, oh, obviously this was written by ChatGPT because you left the prompt in the cut and paste.
How do I tell my business coach off?
How do I tell my business coach? I am doing it. You just don't understand.
Well, I think there's a lot of fun things to explore with AI, and right now it's certainly being laced. It's the current fun thing to think about. It's got the hype cycle. It's got the tech hype cycle. It dominates all the news stories. It's all over the place, and you can't touch a computer or your phone without like some new AI thing on it.
Right. That's true.
So it's just everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I think like every tech hype cycle, it'll die back down, and it will just become like part of the standard tool set.
Yeah, I think so
it's not like going to be anything novel anymore. It'll just everyone kind of get used to it, and we'll have a Zoom meeting, and it can give us the notes, and it'll do. It does a lot of very useful things.
Oh, totally. Yes, I agree.
And
especially for our lower detail people.
Yeah. And the other thing about it is like a lot of people like look at tech as and again, cycles, right? Like this new tech's going to take everybody's jobs.
Oh, right.
And like certainly there has been technology that has taken people's jobs. Like that's clear.
Right.
That's what technology actually kind of
right.
does. It's not like those people are completely lost forever. Like they go find new jobs, they get new skills.
New jobs are created because of new technologies that are created.
Way more jobs.
Yes.
So yes, everyone's going to have to adapt to the new world living with this tech.
No, I'm not gonna. I don't want to adapt.
But it doesn't have to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be scary. I think maybe more than most tech, this particular tech has a bigger impact on intellectual workers. So many intellectual workers were very protected for a long time in their job function.
Right.
Because they had to go through a lot of training. They had to do all that really hard brain work to get them to the position where they were in these intellectual worker spots.
Yeah. So interesting to think about that. You're right.
Like a lawyer. Like look at all the schooling a lawyer or a doctor has to go through. Well, there's examples where AI can just do everything a lawyer does and better. Those are jobs that normally were super protected and now are not. And that's a thing that's causing a huge stir. You know those
are the voices that you're hearing complain about it, and it's a terrible idea to have this.
Right. You know whose job's super protected against AI? A plumber. Like someone who has to physically put stuff together.
A construction.
Architect. Like these jobs, these trades that maybe we can get robots someday to do that stuff, but there's still a lot of detailed articulation in getting that stuff done. So
that's super interesting.
Again, it's like those aren't the voices you hear every day. It's these other voices. So
right.
Yeah, I love this stuff. I love it.
I love it. I'm so glad to hear your thoughts on this because it is changing so fast. And even since we did the last podcast, it is a completely different world than it was.
I'm sure fast forward 1 year from now and it's going to be...
Yes, it'll be the same.
One last confession. before we
Yes.
go? The other thing I have been playing with is
Yes.
I loaded all of the Self-Awareness Journey podcasts into like a private AI model.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't, I'll show it to you later. It doesn't quite work quite right, but it's close.
Oh.
So you can ask it things like, how does Melissa think the universe works? And it will use everything you ever said on this pod to come up with an answer.
Oh, no.
And it sounds
It's gonna be
exactly like you.
Oh, that is so wild.
It's creepy. It's super creepy.
That is so wild.
And we can replicate your voice. So it can actually answer that as you, and it sounds exactly like you.
Okay, I'm scared now.
I know.
Now I'm
I
back
know.
to being
Now you're
terrified,
like-
especially because you
so
know me better than most people,
in-
and you also have the talent to create these really scary things, and I'm going to be a freaking guinea pig. I just heard you say you are a guinea pig.
In one episode, I have nearly destroyed like 15 years of trust with you by doing all of these semi-creepy things with AI.
No, that's actually not true at all.
But
Oh, that's funny.
that is another kind of like interesting experiment I wanted to run is,
Yeah.
and we don't have to get into this now because I don't want to go babble on forever about this, but the fundamental question that I'm left with when I look at the way AI works, and then I look at the way you and I think about things, and then we make an AI model that replicates the way you and I think about things,
Right.
and can have the same exact conversations that you and I have to the same depth, but by itself.
Different topics.
But yeah, different topics, but it just generates basically what you and I would
That
say.
is crazy.
The question is like, then what is consciousness, right? Like, what is our brain? Like, what is this? Like if that thing's doing the same magic trick my brain's doing, what's the difference or what's happening?
Exactly.
It becomes very confusing very fast.
It's fascinating, though. I think
Right?
it's so
So if we've
fascinating.
replicated the way a human brain works,
Yeah.
is it a brain? It might be.
Well, it's a brain, but it's not a soul, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. I mean,
So I guess we got to get
yes.
into that part. But
And it's and no computer will ever be able to regenerate a soul in any way, shape,
we'll have
or
to get
form.
into some deeper
Yeah.
level on that. But like
Philosophical debates about what's what.
I said, from a magic trick perspective, it is absolutely amazing. Did you enjoy this episode? Please go to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review so others can discover it as well. Growing self-awareness is a lifelong journey, and it's better when we're all in it together. Please think of someone you know who could benefit from hearing today's conversation and share this episode with them.
We can't thank you enough for listening. Until next time, happy exploring.